Oh, there's the music. That means it's time for Animal Talk. Some of the best doggone pet people on the planet. I'm Jamie Flanagan, and boy, oh boy, we got an adventure for you today. The Rainbow Bridge. That is where we're heading, and we're gonna communicate with animals. That is the plan, Stan. But before we get to that, I want to do this. I'm gonna share it on the face space here, and I'm gonna thank you for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate you taking some time and joining us here as we do our thing on Animal Talk. And if you've done that, I'm going to ask you to take it just one step further for me, if you would. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all those podcast things in all the podcast places, if you would be so kind. That helps out a lot, right? So you do that, like, subscribe, all those happy podcast things in all the podcast places, and truly, genuinely appreciate that. And just a reminder, it's Animal Talk is brought to you by wearingfunny.com. Fun shirts and more for you, the proud pet parent. And there's all kinds of other funny business there. Wearingfunny.com for your animal parent wearing needs. And one more disclaimer, Animal Talk is for entertainment purposes only. Any behavior or veterinary medical advice should always be check with your local experts as well. Once again, for entertainment purposes only. And I'm telling you, I really do believe you're going to be entertained today. It's a good one, honestly speaking, because we have with us Susan Morano. Susan, SusieSpeaksToAnimals.com. Welcome to Animal Talk.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Susan, thank you so much. So we're going to get in. You got a book, you got a website, you're an animal communicator, and we're gonna get to all of that. But before we do, Susan, tell me about your childhood.
My childhood. Oh gosh, I was born and raised in New York City, and when I was going into the 7th grade, my mom and stepdad moved me to Florida. And that's pretty much it. I was a ballet dancer. I loved to cook as a little kid. So that's a little bit about me in a nutshell.
Yeah, you did some you did some physical fitness kind of stuff, right?
Oh, I do that now.
You do that now, right?
Yes, I'm an
So I have another podcast called the Man Cave Happy Hour, and Mrs. Vino, Kristen Carlson, she does all the fitness bodybuilding stuff. It's
wow.
It's amazing. So you're doing that. You do that now.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years. It's NPC, National Physique Council.
Okay.
And it's bikini class. And I'm proud to announce I always take first or second place.
Woo! All right. Congratulations on that. But in the animal world. Yeah, go ahead.
In the animal. I was going to say I did that in memory of my dad. My dad lived 2 blocks from the World Trade Center, and he died of 9/11 related cancers. So, and it was from all the stuff that came from Ground Zero, because he only lived 2 blocks away. And I wanted to do something to memorialize him. And
so being healthy and getting fit is a good way of doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but heading into the animal realm, you're an animal communicator. So what is an animal communicator?
Animal communicator is basically an intuitive or psychic, whatever you want to call us. Okay. And we basically can speak to animals on the earth plane as well as in spirit.
Okay. All right. And so I on your little profile, it said that you'd always thought about being a veterinarian, but then you're like, it was like, well, the idea of putting down dogs and seeing the abuse and things was just like your heart couldn't take it. So you never really went into the veterinary field. But you ended up, when did this ability to connect on the way you do, when did that come to fruition for you? When did you realize that?
Well, I think I always had it as far as intuition, but it came into play around dating. And I thought to myself, we're women, we overthink, don't think about it too much. And I just kind of pushed it off to the back burner. And then I had 3 Cocker Spaniels. I had breeded my Cocker Spaniel, and she had 3 boys, 3 girls, 3 black, 3 beige, keep them all. And I wound up keeping 3 of them. And Jack was 9.5, and I was watching. It's hard to watch your dogs when you have more than one. You open the door, you let them out to do their business, and you can't watch everybody do their business.
Mm.
So I brought him out day 2, and it looked like he was going to the bathroom, looked like he was urinating, and I didn't see anything coming out. And I called my girlfriend. She is a veterinary neurologist, Anne Chavez, very, very brilliant veterinarian. And she said, bring him in. And I said, I have pet insurance. I'm just going to drop him off and I'll pick him up. It's probably a stone because I'm a registered nurse for 25 years. So I kind of thought I knew what it was. So when I went in there, they asked me not to leave. And they called me back to the ultrasound room, and he had a mass on his spleen. And they said at that time that it had metastasized to the liver. So she told me I had to put him down right then and there. She said, when he looks like he's going to pass out, it's because he's bleeding internally. The mass, every time the mass grows, and it grows really fast, that he bleeds internally, he pinks out a little bit, and then the body absorbs it and he's okay. And I told her, I said, this is the love of my life. I cannot just put him down right now. I have to bring him home, and he's got to say goodbye to my son and his mother. And so I brought him home, and my girlfriend called me. She had a dog that had thyroid cancer, and she was at the veterinary office. And she said, Dr. Holly wants you to bring Jack down. She said, a lot of the times it's a misdiagnosis. So I went down there with all hope in my heart, and she put him on an ultrasound. And she said, unfortunately, he does have metastasis. And she said, if he didn't, she basically said, we could crack his chest and take the spleen and buy you 6 months. And that in itself horrified me, because that would be so selfish. To me, that would be so, like, this is my best friend in the whole world, and I could never do that to him. So she told me that I had to wrap my head around it, because he would basically hemorrhage out of every orifice that he had, and it wouldn't be a good ending for either one of us. So she put him in a little hurricane jacket that she took off her own dog and sent me home. And I had 3 days, and I called lots of love, and I had to put him down. And it was sad, because that night he had a couple of licks of wine from a wine glass. He ate a piece of pizza, and he appeared to not be in any distress, but just the thought of what could happen is the reason that I had to come to terms with it. And it was difficult. So my girlfriend runs Gimme Shelter. It's a 501c3 animal rescue. It was out of Sarasota, Florida. She was having a big open house that night, and a big event, and I couldn't go. And she said, well, Wendy Cooper is going to be there. She's an animal communicator. Let me talk to her for you. So fast forward, got Wendy, did a reading with Jack in my arms. And basically she told me he's ready to go. And she communicated with the fish in my tank and the other pets that I had in the house. And it was very, very hard. And at this point, I had not embraced my ability yet. And I put Jack down, and I had Wendy come to the house. And I was angry. I just wanted my dog back. I never even heard of an animal communicator. I didn't even know what it was, And when Jack didn't come through the way I expected him to, I just was angry and upset, and we didn't get anywhere with it. And well, I started to feel things and see things and read things. I had another communication session with Jacqueline Smith. She's written a great book. She deals with animals in spirit on the earth plane. She does wild animals, trees, insects. And she said, the first thing out of her mouth was, well, I don't think you should be too upset, because your dog is going to reincarnate in the spring. And I said, what? Really? I said, I had heard the word. I never gave it much credence. And she basically said, yeah, he's going to come back in the spring. And I'm like, oh no. I go, how will I find him? How will I know it's him? Where will I know to look?
Yeah, it's a big wild world of dogs. How you gonna find Jack 2.0?
Right. Gosh, I was worried about that. And then I proceeded to ask her, can I call you next week so I can talk to him again? And she's like, no, we kind of have to let him heal in the lead, and he'll be back. So, with that being said, I started a Facebook group for people who had lost their pets. Pet loss, grief support, animal communication, and reincarnation. And as people started to join the group and post pictures, I would get these little movies in my head. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I would type in, oh, well, I see this room with blue curtains. Oh my God, that's my mom's house. And I was like, where is this coming from? I'm like, where am I pulling this from? Like, how do I know this? And
Mm-hmm.
progressively got stronger and stronger. And then one morning I had woke up, and this is probably about maybe 3 weeks after Jack had crossed, and Buffy and Brandy were sleeping in the bed, and I had gotten coffee and I put it next to me at the bedside. And I went to get the coffee and I looked down and there was Jack. And I
Oh.
was like, that's what I said, huh? And Buffy had a little cyst on her head. And
Yeah.
I looked down and it wasn't Buffy. And I literally fell out of the bed and I said, oh my God, I miss you so much. And I started to cry. And no sooner than I started to cry that it turned in, now it was Buffy. And I was told, I called Wendy and I told Wendy what had happened. And she said to me, the reason that he didn't stay is because you embraced it with sadness and
Mm.
not gratitude. She
Okay.
said, they don't want you to feel pain. They don't want you to feel sadness. And if them coming to you does that, they go as fast as they came. So that was my first real experience. A couple of nights went by and the dogs were in the bed with me and I heard rustling in the garbage in the kitchen. And I was like, I was home alone and I was afraid to get up. And I was like, I called out for my son, but he was at work. And I'm like, Jack. And I got up and I went into the kitchen and there was nothing going on with the garbage. I was like, maybe a raccoon got in the house. Who knows?
Yeah.
But then I started to have all those experiences. And I had gone to my boyfriend's house that weekend when he had crossed. And my son was home with my other dogs. And he said to me, Mom, I was going into my bedroom and I saw Jack walk out of the bathroom. First I heard water, like they were drinking out of the toilet. And Jack was the only one out of the three that drank water out of the toilet. So he said, and I walked in the hallway and I literally saw Jack walking. And because obviously the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He's got some communication skills himself. And then he was watching TV in the living room and I had a big crate where they could go in and out whenever they wanted to. And he goes,
Yeah.
Mom, I am sitting here and I am looking at Jack. He is laying in the crate. I'm like, wow. So it just got stronger and stronger. And the more people that joined the group, now I'm not charging anybody for anything because I'm like, oh, what if I'm wrong? What
Yeah.
if I'm wrong? So I called my psychic, my intuitive, Nora Hooper, and she said to me, Susan, she said, she said, you pay me, right? And I said, yeah. She goes, well, what if I'm wrong? I go, well, she said, well, there you go. You tell people, don't base your life on what an intuitive or a psychic tells you, but they can give you pretty good information, especially when things are coming through really strong.
Mm.
People always connect. When I do readings, I mean, I got a billboard one day with a big roasted pig
Oh,
with an apple in its mouth. And I was doing a reading for this Irish setter named Murphy.
okay.
And I said to his mom, I go, this is going to sound a little weird, but I have to give you what I get. And I'm seeing this. And she's like, oh my God. She goes, we are driving. She goes, and that was Murphy's best memory. We had a family reunion every year and they would do a big pig roast.
All right.
And within everything else that the dog had told me, that was in there. And she said that was his favorite time because he got to see the whole family. But we do a big pig roast barbecue as a family reunion. So it was really, really kind of cool. And my ability just got stronger and stronger.
Wow. All right. So, it's like visions, little movies, you say, and then you just kind of put that out for folks, and they can interpret the way they choose.
Yeah, or sometimes, like some of my readings, I do a 5 question reading or a 10 question reading, and
Uh-huh.
they can ask any questions they like. I only ask them, this is a reading for you and your pet. some people will come to you and ask you questions to kind of validate um, whether you really are a psychic.
Yeah.
Like, what was my dog's favorite holiday?
Sure.
And sometimes I want to say, did they tell you what their favorite holiday
Yeah.
was?
How do you know? Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So I kind of, I get questions from them, things, and people ask a lot of the same questions. Were they in pain? Are they angry at me? And pets don't have anger.
Mm.
They are the most loving beings, and there is no anger. And whatever your decisions are, they go with that. And a lot of the time, towards the end, they rally for us, not for them.
All right. So, so you said Jack. So the
Jack.
Rainbow Bridge is not a one-way street, right? So
No.
Jack's back, and you have pictures of Jack reincarnated.
Mhm.
So is that yet another dog who's you feel as though it's Jack 2.0?
Well, when I called Debbie Johnstone, she is one of the approved communicators for my Facebook group. When
Uh-huh.
I called her, she said to me, I had just gotten an iPad as a gift and it was on the table when I was talking to her. She goes, well, the first thing I'm seeing is March 17th. And I'm like, okay. And I said, she says, does that mean anything to you? I said, no. She goes, well, it's St. Patrick's Day. And I said, okay, I got a little Irish in me.
Yeah.
And she said, no. And she says, I'm seeing a Cocker Spaniel in a top hat, like a cartoon. And I
Mhm.
said, okay. And she says, well, he's going to be 45 minutes from you, no further than 45 minutes from you. And that's where you're going to find him. And as she's speaking, I am typing in my iPad, Cocker Spaniel, Shamrocks, near me or whatever. And and it was just like God just plopped it there. It came
Wow.
open, the screen opened, and it was Stanfield Farms in Lakeland, which was exactly 48 minutes from my front door.
Okay.
And it said, we have Cocker Spaniels for March 17th.
Well, there you go.
I mean, she was so spot on. So I started to scroll through the site, and all of a sudden there was a cartoon with a Cocker Spaniel and shamrocks coming out. It was all animated. So as soon as I got off the phone with her, I called Pam, who was the owner. And I said, I'm crazy, but my dog is reincarnating to your litter.
Oh
And she goes,
no.
oh my God, that's amazing. I don't think you're crazy. And I was
Oh,
like, oh,
good.
great. So, the 3 months went by really slow. And
Mhm.
I had been dating somebody, and my mom said to me, you're never going to find anybody to marry you with 3 dogs. You better stop with those dogs.
Right.
So me and my son went to Lakeland to pick the dog up. And we walked in, and there were Cocker Spaniels running around all over.
Uh,
And I had called Wendy, and she goes, just relax. He will let you know who it is. Now, Jack had a funny way of laying on his side, and his ears would flop up, and he would sit under your chair or anywhere close to you. So I think there was like 8 Cocker Spaniels puppies. And I went and I sat down at the dining room table with the woman. And I said to her, I don't know that I can take him home. And she said, what do you mean? And I told her, my mom says that this guy's not going to marry me, and, with all these dogs. And she goes, well, I'll put him back on the website and I'll return your money. And she says, we'll find him a home. Don't worry. So I cried all the way home, and I called
oh
my
no.
dad. And my dad says, wait a minute. So you asked your dog to come back from the Rainbow Bridge,
Yeah.
and he's here now, and you want to send him back. And he said, let me tell you something, sweetie. Men are a dime a dozen. If that's your boy, you need to go get him. So I sent my son. So I sent my son to get him the next day, and the rest is history. He'll be 13 in January. I
Wow. Okay.
am, I am, well, and they give you signs. My
Mhm.
birthday is 11/11. My dad was January 1st, 1/1, and Jack was born on January 11th. So
Okay.
he's 1/1/1. And
You
that's
know,
all in the book.
okay, and that I was gonna say, so let's get to the book, shall we? So what is now I was like I was grabbing pictures of my pets to share with you.
Uh huh.
That's why I was
Okay.
like, And
Okay.
I would say, because you're like, oh, so I want to show you the pictures of the pets, see what you get about my guys. But
Okay.
I navigated away from where I wanted to be. To the Rainbow Bridge and back. Jack's Home is the title of the book, and that's coming out next week, right? That hits the digital airwaves 11/11.
Yep. 11/11 on Kindle,
Okay, and
and
can people get a
and
hard
11.
copy? Some people like the
Oh
tactile.
yeah, 11/18 will be the paperback.
Nice. Okay. All right. And so
So,
what are people, when they pick up Jack's story here, To the Rainbow Bridge and Back, what are they going to find in there?
well, it starts, like I said, in the very beginning when he got sick.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, it started before that when he was born. That's where I started the book. And it just goes into, I created a journal to go with the book. It's called Whispers of the Soul, Animal Communication, and the 12 Universal Laws.
Okay.
So, it's manifestation at its finest. And one of the things that I feel really plays a role in animal reincarnation is the perpetual transmutation of energy, which states that anything that you hold on the screen of your mind has to produce in physical form by universal law. So the journal that I created teaches people how to navigate through the sickness, the illness, the death, and the possible reincarnation. And, pets come to us sometimes for them, their higher self or their life assignment, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they come for us. And people seem to think, people go through such grief when a pet dies, but you're still ultra connected. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's consciousness is what it's consciousness. And when you get these signs, whether it's a penny or a feather, my dog would move energy. I had a squirrel outside that would just sit there and have conversations with me for 40 minutes. I'd go sit outside under the tree and I would be like, oh, Jack's moving energy. Brandy would see him. Buffy would see him. And you can watch your dogs track through the air that they're looking at something. And it's really kind of neat. But so it's because everything is vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Animals carry and mirror our energy. And I think, well, I don't think, I know why Jack got sick. I was at that time, I was, I had moved back from New Jersey. I was living in Florida and I was very negative, very pessimistic. And animals will draw from us anything that's negative, whether it's cancer or being sick or being pessimistic. And let's face it, they're tiny. Their body can only hold so much. And Jack tried to get me to pay attention and try to get me to learn the lessons I needed to learn. And the only way to do it is to cross over because I
Okay.
would not be this person today. I wrote this book 13 years ago.
You look like you're in a good
And
space.
I am now. I am now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but I would have never written a book. I would have never opened a space for people to grieve with like-minded people. I tell them
Mm-hmm.
grief is not a place to unpack your bags and move in. It's a place to go through slowly at your own pace and not to let anyone tell you to do it because you have to go through that at your own pace. There's just
Mm-hmm.
no way to rush through it.
But there
And
is
people
going
can
through
be in
it.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way around it. You have to go
Yeah.
through it. You have
Yeah.
to feel it. You have to embrace it. But with animal communication, when you sit with the communicator and they tell you the things that Wendy told me, like just I needed to calm down, I needed to slow down, I had angst in my gut. And these were all things that were true. And that's what Jack came to help me work through in this lifetime. But 9.5 years wasn't enough because I wasn't paying attention.
Ah. So no, I get what you're talking about. Like you said you sensed him or you saw him. I had a
Uh-huh.
guy, Kirby, and he was with me like 18, 19 years. Awesome,
Mm-hmm.
awesome little dude.
Oh, looks like my Toby.
Yeah, it was Kirby, and so he passed away there at home. He was
19?
just kidney problems, and we were juicing him, right? Giving him
Oh,
water, giving him
yeah.
the bag, and
Yeah.
and the vet was, as long as he's enjoying himself, hey, so we'd keep him hydrated, and he was good for a while, and finally he just said, "All right, see you later." So that was hard. So we didn't get another cat for some time, but uh, I live in a very old house, and
Okay.
there's my wife is a little bit more in tune to this than I am, uh, but 1831. So when I say old, it's old. 1831.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
before Michigan was a state, before the Civil War. I mean, it's an old house. So there's stuff going on in the house, but I will see out of the corner of my eye, before we got our new guy, Percy, uh, I would see what somebody moving, right? Not, but like a cat,
Right.
right? And so I'm like, what's that? So I was like, I thought he was around. I thought he was kind
Mhm.
of kicking around there. So
Absolutely. Was he 19?
yeah, yeah,
He was 19. Yeah, because I
yeah.
was getting the numbers 1 and 9 around him. And sometimes when I get numbers, it can be the gotcha date or the actual birth date. But his personality was more like a dog.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing him following you around.
Oh,
And
yeah.
do you have a room that has curtains in it? Long
Um,
curtains, like where you could hide behind it, or maybe it's a door. It's dark.
yep, yep, yep. There's long
And
curtains.
and I feel like that's where it's a place where he used to sit in your house, but I'm seeing like a curtain. I don't know if it's a sheer curtain, but the room is dark
Yeah.
and it's like behind a door.
So,
That
well,
sounds
he
familiar?
and I had a house on our own for a while.
Mm,
And then,
okay.
I met my wife, Colleen, and, she had a dog and I had the cat, and we all and a son, which I got was great too. And so
Uh-huh.
we all came together. And so, yeah, Kirby and I lived in a house by ourselves for a while. And then, when we all got together, we got another house. But, so he might have been in the basement at the old house, or, behind the curtains in the new house. This is our new guy.
Uh, oh, what a cutie.
Percy. I don't know if you can see how blue
Mm,
his eyes are, but he's got blue, 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 blue eyes.
really? He's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So he's like an American short hair, but
He's a
he's got
rescue.
those kinda Siamese colors to his, the tips on the ears, but he's got the ring on the tail like an American short hair, but he's got some
Uh-huh.
kinda Siamese colors, and he's got the blue, blue eyes. So we're guessing he's a mix of, we got him from a rescue. Yeah, I mean, all our dogs
That's what I said. I was just asking you if he was a rescue because
yeah, all our
I'm not getting you're his first owner.
no, we got him as a kitten. So, I mean, he
Well,
was
whoever
just
dropped him off.
he was a little poof poof when we got him, he was a
Oh.
little itty bitty. But yeah, so he was just a itty bitty. Um, so yeah, so he's a ton of fun. He's again pretty dogly. He'll play fetch. He's great. Our old dog wouldn't. The new dog there's kind of nosing in. I got
Yeah, yeah,
questions.
I see that.
I got questions about her. But yeah, so Percy's he's my guy. Um,
She
Colleen
will get
picked him
into
out, but
anything you let her get into, your dog.
oh,
She will get into anything you will let her get into, and anything that you don't want her in, she'll be in. Um, the cat tolerates her.
yeah, he's right now. I think he's 12. He's 12ish,
Oh, okay,
and she
that's what
is
it is.
she's just over a year.
Oh,
So, so
uh-huh,
we got her at about 8 months.
uh-huh,
Right? So this is her, like, pretty much right when we got her. This is a few months back, right?
uh-huh.
She's put on a little more weight. So we got her at 8 months, and we don't know much about her first 8 months. Um, what, are you getting anything about her first 8 months?
I'm getting is an elderly person around her, and it
Okay.
was too much. It was
Okay.
too much, and they couldn't. That's intuitively what I'm feeling. And
Okay.
she's in that picture there. She's still not sure where she is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know,
Okay.
emotionally,
Right.
because she was connected to that person, but that person was too it was the person was too old to take care of her.
Okay.
I think what I'm feeling is intuitively that she was given as a gift. People don't do a lot of homework and, oh, grandma's old, let's bring her a puppy, it'll make her happy,
Do
kind of
dogs
thing.
do dogs
That's what
Okay. Do dogs know what brand they are? Do they know what breed
what brand?
what
What
breed what breed they are? Uh do they know what breed they are? Does she know what breed she
No,
is?
when I communicate with animals, they usually give me size. Like when they want to come back, I want to come back smaller because I want to be a
Uh,
lap dog, you know? So no, I don't, I've never gotten a dog that says, I'm a German Shepherd. I want to come back as a German Shepherd.
okay.
I usually get small, large,
Right, right.
and some pets come back as a completely different animal. Some come back as a cat, some come
Okay.
back as a bird.
All right, Susan, I lied to you. This isn't my dog. No, I'm teasing. It is my dog. I did lie to you though, but we did know a little bit about her background, but I didn't know about the circumstances of her background. And that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So here's what we do know about Raina, and that was
Okay.
the name she came with. And we're just like, all right, well, we're not going to rename her because Raina's not bad. So we're going to stick with that. So this is what we know about Raina is that an older woman owned her
Uh-huh.
and couldn't take care of her anymore and gave her to her nieces. Her nieces breed
Ah,
her nieces
okay.
breed dogs. So from what they tell us, she's a German Shepherd pit bull mix is what they said, but we don't see any pit bull in her.
I see husky.
And the nieces breed huskies.
There you go. Somebody had a little slip.
So that was our thing.
Aw,
Oh, I know. She's a little sweetheart.
she's a lover.
Yeah, she
Look
is.
at her with her little tongue.
So, okay. So, but yeah, so the aunt couldn't keep her, and they gave her to the nieces, and they breed dogs, and so they had several dogs around, and
Uh-huh.
she didn't get along, and the other dogs didn't get along with her, so they had to give her up, and they put her
Okay.
up on Pet Finder, and that's where Colleen found her, and
Okay.
she said, "Look at how sweet she is," and we were looking for a medium dog. Right, and
Uh-huh.
because our last dog was, again, another Heinz 57 mixed breed,
Uh-huh.
so she was a great dog, and, so we were looking for, just a medium size, nothing that's gonna get too big, but nothing that you're gonna carry around in a
Right. In
in
a
your
purse.
pocket or nothing. So I was like, "Oh, pit bull mix," and I'm like, because we're in Metro Detroit, and everything
Yeah.
everything in Detroit is
Mm-hmm.
pit bull, pit bull, pit bull. And then I saw the pictures, I'm like, "Well, that doesn't look anything like a pit bull," because she's got the snout, right? So we're like,
Right.
I'm like, "All right, well, let's go check her out." And then they brought her to us, and she had like feces all caked on her tummy,
Oh.
and we're like, "All right, this dog's coming home with us regardless," right? She's coming
Right.
She's coming home with. So, we overfed her and overdrank her as soon as we got her home,
Of course.
which was
That's what
very
we
bad.
do.
But yeah, we loaded that cannon is what we did. So that took a few days to calm down. But, yeah, but she was just like she was eating and it was like ravenous, like she didn't know if she was gonna get to eat again, It's like so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that whole I'm not sure, what's going on, and we took her to the vet, and the vet, well, we gave her a nice bath, and, I took her to the vet, within a day or 2, and the vet was like, "Yeah, she's not quite malnourished, but she's on the border of it. She's not dehydrated, which was good. She was
Yeah.
about 34 pounds, right? Well, she's up
Oh,
to 59 now.
nice. I love
So,
that.
yeah. So she's put on a little weight, which is good, which is fine. So it's not
Yeah.
good for my
Yeah.
shoulder because she probably pulls it right out of the socket. But yeah, so she's good. So that was the thing. So she did. You were very right about that. That she was an older woman and she was actually gifted back to her nieces, and the
Yeah.
nieces
You just
just
couldn't
couldn't
take
keep
care of
her.
her.
And just because of the disagreements with the other dogs, and we really think that
Yeah.
she was kind of, but she's super skittish, and it's like, I don't know why, but she gets like super, super skittish.
Well, you
Um,
only have one dog, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What about food aggression?
No, nope. I can, I can walk right up and I can put my hand in her bowl, or, I can move her from
Okay.
her bowl or take her
She's
to it. And the cat, he's a jerk. He'll like walk between the wall and her bowl while she's trying to eat, just to be, and it's
gotta
like,
love cats.
he's like, just,
I love that.
either you saw him sitting on the couch. I want nothing to do with
Yeah.
you. Leave me alone. But treats,
Right,
and
exactly.
I'm gonna
That's exactly what I
step
picked up.
between.
She's like, I'm tolerating you. I'm tolerating you
Yeah.
at best. But I feel also that where she was, the
Yeah.
weight problem was because of all the other dogs.
Yeah.
She was not aggressive. So therefore, everybody ate and she would get what was left, which really
Yeah.
wasn't much.
You can see her hand. She's a skinny mini here, but she's got some
But she's
meat on the
a
bone.
beautiful dog.
She is a good looking pup, man.
She even
Those
looks like
spirits.
she has a little bit of Australian cattle dog in her.
That is what our previous dog was, and that's kind of what drew Colleen to picking her out, is because it's like, oh, that was about the right shape and size, and that was kind of Zoe's shape and size, and yeah, so that's what.
You do one of those DNA, one of those 23andMe things on your
That's
dog.
I thought you could tell me.
The DNA.
How does she identify? Does she
Yeah.
identify as German Shepherd, or? So yeah, I
She
want to do that. Colleen thinks it's all malarkey. So, but
Oh, I
yeah,
don't. I don't.
I'll
I
yeah.
I I don't. They tell me my dog Jack is full breed Cocker Spaniel, and I can tell you, when I went to pick him up, the woman was breeding Cocker Spaniels and standard poodles. I am very
Mm.
sorry. You saw the cover of the book, and maybe you've seen some pictures of Jack. Jack looks like a mini golden doodle. So I think one of the poodles had a slip. So I really do want to do the DNA on him. See, he doesn't look like a cocker. Now,
No.
he did in his first life on the cover of the book, which is not the cover. We've
Okay.
just finalized the cover. So,
Okay.
um, but, uh, but yeah, I think that there was a little slip there. I guarantee if I do his DNA, he's cocker poodle, not pure breed cocker. But I'm also getting around your dog that she's using the word queen. I am the queen. Is she that she gets whatever she wants? It's her way, and she gets her way.
No, that's mom.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm drawing from her. That's not
No,
true.
she does not. She does not get her way. No, she
Of
wants
course
to
not.
get her. She wants to get her way, but she does.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're not. They're So I mean, she's got a lot of toys, but that's just because it's fun for
Well,
us.
henceforth the queen title.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and it's like we were waiting, trying to get her spayed, and then we finally just did it. So she's a week away from she's a week past her surgery, so she finally took the
Week
comb and
out.
shame off today, and
Oh, boy,
so it's another week
happy.
of taking it easy. So because we would play fetch every day, right? And so she's just bringing her
Uh-huh.
ball to me like every day, going, "Come on, dude, we're supposed to be outside throwing this. What are you doing?" I'm like, you can't for another week." So she's like so bummed.
Oh,
She's like,
that's the
"Why are you
worst.
guys being so
I
mean?"
know.
And I'm like,
That's so
well,
hard.
it's you don't remember, but you had a big surgery. That's why your tummy's all shaved, girl. So yeah, we can do. But
Exactly. And they
so we'll
can
be
pull
back in
those
the yard.
stitches real easy.
Yeah, so we'll go play in the yard next week. But all right, so if someone wants a reading, do you do readings? I mean, do you do it through your
I
website
do
or
readings.
just for friends? What do you do?
On the website, there's a spot where they can contact me and they can tell me what they're going through. My email address is there, and they can send me an inquiry where I do it, like I said, I do a 5-question reading, 10-question reading, and then I have a package of 3 people going through reincarnation. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to spend money. They won't let you miss it, I promise you. But people are just like I was in the beginning. I was like, what do you mean
Mm.
I'm not going to miss it? What is he going to just fall out of the sky into my lap? And I
And
just
he did.
started reading everything that I could. And I took some classes with Danielle McKinnon, who's also a very known animal psychic. And I just, strengthened that spiritual gut, and that muscle just got stronger and stronger. And I just kept getting more and more. And now it's funny because he'll be 13 and he had undiagnosed glaucoma in the left eye. And this is a dog that he gets anything he wants. I was going to take him out of the cataract app. That's how we found out. And my mom goes, you're going to spend $5,000 on a cataract? I said, I know that when I can't find my glasses, I'm not a pleasant person to be around. So I want him to be able to see. So I
Sure.
brought him in, and they told me that, outside the fact that it was $5,000, that if they did it because of the glaucoma, his vitreous humor was squirting out of the eye slowly, and
Mhm.
that most likely the cataract surgery would cause them to have to down the road take the eye out.
Oh,
So when a veterinarian tells you we don't want your $5,000, you know it's a good doctor and you wound up in the right place. So I'm just, we've had our conversations. I've told Jack I want him to stay till he's 22. He keeps telling me 17. I'll be grateful for every day I get.
all right. Susie Speaks to Animals. It's the number 2. SusieSpeaksToAnimals.com. Is that the best? That's the best spot for people to connect?
Yep, and they can come to the Facebook group. There's a few questions they have to answer,
Sure.
which is nothing major. Why do you want to join? Are you a animal communicator or a psychic? And
Yeah.
just to keep the group safe. There are people out there that do readings that don't really have the ability, so I
Mhm.
try to keep the group safe.
Sure.
And like I said, the communicator who actually found him logistically, Debbie Johnstone, she's out of Arizona. She did the forward for the book,
Okay.
and she's amazing, and she's one of the communicators in the group. So it's important. You might get on the phone with somebody and you don't resonate with them. I mean, have you ever gone to like a doctor and be like, I'm not seeing him again, I don't like him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's why I have a few different communicators in the group, because I want people to resonate with the person that's reading them. And so I have Debbie Johnstone and Wendy Cooper. Both have great websites, but they can go right to the Facebook page and they can ask to join. And I have a file tab where I have prayer cards, templates that you could say. I have house cleansings. I have recommendations from people who I've read in the past. And yeah, I'm really excited about the book. I've always said I wanted to write a book, and it sat in this plastic book binder for years. And I just so happened to be in the right room at the right time. Soul Sparks Press is the publishing house. My wonderful publisher, Deepika Sandhu. She's amazing. We just had the book launch in New York in a little place called La Bibliothèque. And we had 4 authors total. She's had some award-winning, New York Times bestsellers, and she's a new publishing house, so she's doing really wonderful things. And I hope to write a children's book next.
Oh, nice. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Susan, we'll put links to all those things down in the
Okay.
show notes, and people
Awesome.
can connect that way. And thanks for helping me through.
If you will
Through
send
the
me your address, I would love to send you a copy when it comes out.
All right, brilliant. We will do that. Anything else? Anything else people need to know before we take off here?
Just like I said, grief is not a place to stay. You have to go through it. You have to feel the feelings, but they never really leave you. And one thing that I will tell the audience, if you have a pet that has left you, when you go to bed tonight, I want you to get in bed and close your eyes. I want you to state the day, the date, and the time. Today, Monday, November 4th. Johnny, I want you to come to me in my dreams and connect with your heart center. Think about that pet as you fall asleep. They may not come to you tonight, but I guarantee you they'll come to you soon.
And Percy will be like right in my face because that's where he sleeps, right on my chest, breathing on me. All
Oh,
right,
I love that. I
good
love
stuff.
that. That's great.
All right,
Well,
Susan,
thank you
thanks so
for
much.
having me.
Yep. And everybody, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, all those podcast things and all the podcast places. We'll see you, and we'll do it all again very, very soon.
Thank you.